the premise of mud bogging. The top of the line in bog buggies is the unlimited class, where anything goes in the name of going faster. Mud bog racing, the goal is to be the quickest through the mire. Of course, before you can worry about how quick you are, you have to worry about getting through. When it's well done, mud bog racing is a guaranteed 10 on the Wowie meter. As the automobile was revolutionizing the way we played at Naples, Florida, the Gold Coast. Haven for the rich, it's an unlikely home to a motorsport found nowhere else. Twice a year, the residents in and around Naples gather for the World Championship Swamp Buggy Races, a ritual that dates back 40 years. These are homemade race machines built with common sense, instinct, and personal vision as guides. Winning's the goal, but competition's the attraction. Buggies are broken up into classes based primarily on the number of engine cylinders. Among the most fragile-looking are the 1- and 2-cylinder motorcycle-engined machines. Some of the closest, most competitive racing comes from the Jeep class, always a crowd favorite. The biggest, baddest beasts to motor through the swamps are the 6- and 8-cylinder 2- and 4-wheel drive buggies. The most sophisticated of all the race machines, they literally fly through the muck. The race course is sorta, kinda, maybe a figure 8, a mile in distance. The first obstacle the drivers have to navigate is the Sippy Hole, the deepest part of the course. It was named for a guy from Mississippi who couldn't get through it, or so the legend goes. The left-hand turn out of the Sippy Hole leads down the chute around the smaller of the 2 islands, hugging the back all the way around. Then it's down the long front straight, again going through the Sippy Hole. Assuming you don't drown or your engine stalls, it's a right-hander around the second island, down the back straight. Once more around the smaller island, back down the front straight, survive the sippy hole, and you're at the finish line. To win in competition takes a coordinated effort on the part of driver and buggy. To get around the bumpy, rutted course, with many obstacles hidden beneath the water, requires durability and power from the machines, as well as finesse, skill, and the ability to hold their breath underwater from the racers. Swamp buggy racing began as an informal way for friends to compare their new hunting rigs needed to travel the marshy, mucky areas around Naples. 40 years later, racers like Tom and Debbie Engel are as much an attraction as the buggies. In 1982, Tom and Debbie in their Jeep Reefer Madness captured the crowd's favor with a performance that was equal parts skill and showmanship. By winning their class final, the Engels moved into the little feature. Hopelessly outpowered, Tom and Debbie, nicknamed Lady Luck, had almost no chance to win the race and advance into the big feature. As the buggies came down the chute leading to the back straight, Turkey Buzzard, piloted by Rick Caperton, hit something and broke. That gave the lead to Richard Beatty aboard Monstrosity and moved the Engels into second. Opened up a big lead on Tom and Debbie, but as he came out of the sippy hole, something let go on Monstrosity and it stopped dead in the muck. A few moments later, a rather surprised Tom and Debbie drove by the stalled Beatty to take the lead. Half a lap later, the Engels crossed the finish line, underdog winners of the little feature.
You were a bit of an underdog. Maybe Lady Luck here worked for you.
Yeah, it must have.
Describe the race for us a little bit. What happened out there?
Well, for a while I thought I was in trouble and it broke down, and my lucky person was with me.
And you get a shot at the big feature now?
I guess. I don't think I got too much to go there.
We got to think positive now. Come on.
Yeah.
He's been all negative all day, and I've been the positive one.
Positive feelings aside, Reefer Madness was no match for the faster buggies in the big feature, coming home third. 4 years later, Tom Engel was still behind the wheel of Reefer Madness, but Lady Luck was now in a Jeep of her own.
Debbie, Reefer Madness fans all over the country just aren't going to believe that you're not riding along as Lady Luck. What's going on here?
Oh, well, I just figured I wanted to get out there and try it myself.
What's Tom feel about all of this?
Oh, he was all right, you know. He was happy about it, but I had to get out there and work on my own, you know. And because I didn't get out there until last week, that's, you know.
So you haven't had a lot of practice?
No, I haven't even drove it until I get out there on the track.
Debbie's debut was not an auspicious one, as her Jeep Bad Company stalled on her first pass through the sippy hole. Without Debbie as his co-pilot for the class finals, Tom Engel ran into a spate of bad luck, as well as some of his fellow competitors. Having pushed his way into second, Tom went after the leader. Like any good captain, Engel went down with the ship, muttering John Paul Jones' famous words, "I have not yet begun to fight." The most important race of the Swamp Buggy Championships is the big feature, whose winner is crowned King of the Swamp. Two of the most dominant racers each year are brothers, Leonard and Lonnie Chesser. As in any motorsport, the Chesser brothers' success, more than 20 Swamp Championships between them, is due to their own special innovations, things like airfoils and skis on the wheels, and their driving ability, running their buggies right on the edge and still having enough to win.
Lonnie, I know you were concerned about the motor, but it held up for one more muddy mile.
I couldn't hold it to the floor. I had to let back halfway. Every time I mashed all the way down, it just go to breaking up that valve.
I
I was just hoping, just hold the inside so he couldn't get under me.
Well, I tell you, he went to the outside, right up against the wall. In fact, about washed out one of our cameras trying to get you.
It hung in there.
It certainly did. Congratulations again. You got to be feeling good, huh?
Oh man, no doubt.
Like many great sporting events, the Swamp Buggy Championships has its own special rituals, none more moving than the ceremonial dunking of the Swamp Buggy Queen by the winner of the big feature. Not something you'd expect to see Lady Di doing. All of us dream of inventing a new motorsport, and in 1934, world champion water skier Sven